Hi everyone and welcome to Triple M Adventures with Bill. This is my review of the Eachine E010S Pro quadcopter. It's a brushless quadcopter and I bought it so that I could do a series of videos where I go through the complete setup, which I now have finished, and this is the final episode, episode 10, which is the actual review. So let's take a look at the quadcopter. Okay, it's got I don't mind the canopy, it's a bit daft. It does make it look like a toy, but anyway, when you're flying FPV you don't see the canopy anyway, but it does make it a little bit toyish, I suppose. But that doesn't concern me. I just want to actually fly around my house. Okay, it comes with 6x15 motors, brushed motors, but I couldn't find what the KV was. There's no specifications for it. Obviously it's got an all-in-one board on there, which is the receiver is included, which is an SPI FreeSky, and I had no problem binding it. It was very easy to bind because all you needed to do is to do anything you've got to take the canopy off. So you take the canopy off and you literally can plug the battery in and just push the button. You don't have to fiddle around with trying to hold the button down and push the battery, connect the battery. So it was very easy to bind. Right, let's take a look at the quad when I've taken off the canopy. Now you can see here, there's the sticky double-sided tape, but I'm actually I've left that in there, but I'm only actually using this. You can see the copper wire here, which I assume is the antenna for your receiver, and there's your bind button, and there's the camera, which you just can unplug. Let me just zoom in on this, and you can see the bind button there. So all you do is you plug your battery in, put your radio in bind mode, push the button, and voila, you're bound to the quad. I think what happened in the conference center footage was this copper wire was touching the camera, which is stuck here. And when I pulled the wire out and put it around the canopy, then it stopped giving those lines on the video footage. The camera, let me just check my notes, is an AIO FPV camera, which is not bad, but we'll go into the camera a little bit later. It came with a battery, and the battery, as soon as I charged it and put it onto the quad, it told me the voltage was too low and it couldn't fly. So I ended up buying some more batteries, which were slightly bigger. They're 350 milliamp hours because I couldn't get the smaller batteries, the 240 milliamp hour batteries in South Africa. So I got what I could, and I will show a bit later what I did to make them fit into the quad. It came with a little charger, this one here, I'll show it up closer, and of course it came with some spare props, a prop remover, some extra sticky pads because the camera is stuck to the canopy. Now, originally it was stuck to the top of the canopy and the bottom of the board. There was a pad on there, so I've just ignored the top piece and everything seems to be fine. It doesn't seem to cause jello or anything. So I just stick the camera to the base, to the top of the flight controller, which it was stuck anyway, so I don't use the top bit. So they gave you quite a few, I think it's 4 pads there, so that you could take it on and off if you need to. But once it's set up, you shouldn't need to do that. And it comes with some rubber bands. Now, I'm not quite sure what they were for. In this, they're so you could attach bigger batteries to the bottom, but I don't quite know how that would work. So I don't quite understand what the little rubber bands were or are. Here is a picture of what you get with your quadcopter. You can see the bag of props and the prop remover and the rubber bands and the sticky pads. Then you've got your charger, the orange thing at the bottom, and then the battery. But this is not the original battery. This is a bigger one because I destroyed the original one because it wasn't up to scratch. The instructions that came with the quad are actually quite good. They did explain everything you needed to know about the quadcopter and how to set it up, as you can see from my group of videos that I did. The camera comes with 40 channels and it has race band 2. The flight time of the Eachine E010S Pro was about 2 minutes, but I'm getting a lot of warnings to tell me to land, so I did push the batteries a bit. But when you stopped, the voltage came back up to about 3.8. So I think I should be okay and won't be destroying my batteries. The VTX, you'll see, I've got some footage that I'm going to put with this review where I flew from my studio out into my lounge and outside, and I lost the RSSI about 20-30 meters away from myself, but that would, I suppose, be to be expected from an inbuilt receiver. But round my house it works wonderfully. I can go fly all the way around my house and no problems at all with that. Okay, here I am on my floor of my studio, my office, and off we go. We're going to go through my door to my lounge, turn left, out the front door, and the RSSI is now 28, 29, 22, whoops, and it looks like at 11 it fell out the sky. The quadcopter is easy to fly, and it's great because you can knock it into things in your house and you're not going to make any damage to it or to your house. So it's a great way of practicing, so I'm really enjoying it. I'm trying to fly at least 4 packs every day. I'm just flying around my house, and I really am having fun with it. I did go outside with it, as I said earlier, but the wind was a bit too much for it, so it's definitely not an outside quadcopter. Before I move on to the review summary, I just want to show you the modification I did. If you follow the arrow down here, you can see I cut the mount, and then you have to be very careful and slice it very carefully because this is connected to the ducts here and here. So I sliced it so that these bigger batteries can be pushed and slid right through. It was flying with them poking out the back, but I was worried that the battery was sitting over here and the quadcopter wasn't balanced. So all I did is took a very sharp knife and cut down here, pushed this over and trimmed it so these batteries can just slide into the holder, and it does work. It works absolutely 100%. In summary, it's a great little quad. It would help a beginner learn to set up the radio, because it doesn't matter whether it's a 5-inch quad or this size, a 65mm quad. You still have to do all the same things, and especially the fact that this has telemetry, which is very cool. So that teaches you to set up things on your radio with telemetry. It also it's safe to fly around your house. Fairly inexpensive. Yeah, it's inexpensive, and the batteries are inexpensive too. So you know, if you were starting out, it would be a good way of, I personally feel, to start learning to fly quadcopters, line of sight, and then go on to FPVing them. The quality of the video feedback is quite good. I did notice outside, and again there'll be video of this so you can see, where when I went into the sun, everything went rather blue, but you could see perfectly. There wasn't any problem with working out where you're going, but mostly I think people would fly this little quadcopter inside. And I did fly in the hall, which if you've been watching this series, you would have seen me flying it in one of our conference halls here, and you saw the video feed was quite good. Okay, this first clip is to show you when the VTX, the camera, went a bit blue, but it's still perfectly flyable. There we go. I'm going to turn by my cottage. And everything's looking good there. So we go blue. When I say bluish, it goes like, yeah, anyway, it's blue, I think. And the next clip is from the conference hall where that we have weddings here. So I'm just flying around. You can see there's a little bit of flashing now. This was because of the copper wire aerial for the receiver, but we'll go through that a little bit later. But it looks good. And I enjoyed flying around inside there. Need to practice though. There we go. There I am, enjoying myself. FPV, it's great. I think it's a cool little quad. I don't have many to compare it to, but from my experience with it as a beginner, and being able to fly in the house to get practice, I think it's great, because simulators are good, but you need to actually do the real thing. And this one you can do safely in your house without damaging anything and at a reasonable cost. Now I'm going to include a flight where I just go around the garden, so you can see you can actually fly outside as long as there's no wind whatsoever. Thanks for watching this video, and if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, and if you really enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel, and please share this video with your friends. And if you have any comments or questions, please leave them in the comments section below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. Happy flying. Bye for now. Bye.